of South Dakota still way out there. What looks like approaching the moon.
Just how far is it to the horizon from an altitude of about 220 miles in the portion of Earth that you can see in this picture from, say, directly below the spacecraft to the horizon?
You can do the math, and I think if I remember correctly, it's something like 1,700 kilometers. We tend to work in kilometers because of the international aspect of the International Space Station. The horizon's about 40 degrees off track, so that's a long way. Appalachian Mountains seem to be coming into the picture there, approaching the center of the view. No, I think I'm wrong there. This feels like northern Mexico. The dark spots are lakes with water in them. The brightest areas, of course, are cloud. Again, the diffuse cloud is the high cirrus cloud, and the sharp, brighter cloud is the lower cumulus cloud. You can see some contrails there, condensation trails just about in the center at the top, produced by airplanes. Coming into the picture on the right is a much lighter toned area, and that we know to be the bed of the Mississippi Valley, which is a very, very wide valley in global terms. The dark edges are the bluffs of the Mississippi, and you can see the Mississippi itself reflecting some sun coming into the middle of the picture right now, in the middle of that lighter area. The reason for the lighter tone is that agriculture, as opposed to forests, produces the lighter areas, and so the bluffs have got more trees, and so they look darker. The flow of the river, of course, is to the south, which in this picture just happens to be from the top to the bottom. Not always the case in astronaut photography.
And I see some features that are obviously clouds. Are there other features in the image here that are smoke?
Yes, absolutely. Lower right, you see a small white, a long, thin white fleck, and at the top center is another white fleck. And these are smoke plumes produced by even small fires. Some white flecks also moving out of the picture on the left, which are different from the cloud, a touch bluer maybe. Mobile Bay on the Gulf of Mexico, coming into the center of the picture at the bottom right now. The southern end of the Appalachians is top left. That great big semicircle of lighter colored rock is one of the rock layers that is affected by the growth of the Appalachian Mountains many millions of years ago. Cape San Blas is the strange-shaped feature on the coastline coming into the middle of the picture right about now, Florida Panhandle. And there, in the top right, is the big bend of the Gulf of Mexico, where it moves south towards, down the Florida Peninsula. Coming into the picture is going to be Tampa Bay, with the cities around the shoreline of that much smaller bay. You can see the different colors in the Gulf at the moment too, usually related to the to sediment supply and shallower water. St. Petersburg and Tampa are coming into the middle of the picture right about now. And Lake Okeechobee is the open patch in the cloud top right. And there you see the southern end of the Florida Peninsula with the Keys going off down into the bottom of the picture again. Notice how there's a lot more cloud development over the warmer land surface and less cloud, at least in the Gulf, over the water. The Bahama Banks, again in the lightest blue in the middle of the picture, and Cuba again coming in the lower right. Maybe with some volcanoes in it. I don't quite recognize where this is. There's a lake. Maybe an African lake. Oh, and another switch here. You can see a very winding river moving out of the picture lower left. It's got an Amazon feel to it. Here is a thunderhead. The typical look of the thunderheads, big rainstorms that develop over the Amazon basin. And another one coming in top right. All the green in the middle of the picture now is rainforest. Even if it isn't the Amazon, we can be sure it is rainforest because of the broad, consistent green and the lack of obvious towns or roads. So it's possible it's the Congo rainforest too, but probably the Amazon by how long we're moving over this rainforest.
And again, important to note with the vast amount of rainforest that the spacecraft's moving at 5 miles a second, or about 17,400 miles an hour as this imagery is taken. I guess traversing a continent in really a few minutes.
Well, if you go around the world in 90 minutes, then yes, you traverse a continent quite quickly. Here's obviously a major river. Maybe not quite as big as there's an even bigger one coming into the picture on the right. That looks to me like it could well be the Amazon River with one of its big tributaries on the left. And the flow would seem to be from the bottom of the picture to the top, since these big rivers all converge on the Amazon River. And again, you see the light wisps of cloud on the top, on the left side of the picture being the high cloud, and the bright popcorn cumulus, as we call it, as the brighter cloud. There's a very, very wiggly, smaller river in the middle of the picture right now. This must be the Amazon, James, considering that we've been flying over a rainforest for this long, and that, of course, is the biggest one on the planet, the biggest continuous rainforest. A river coming in at the top right, again, extremely meandering river. It's hard to recognize the rivers of the Amazon and the Congo because we see them so seldom because of cloud cover.
Would this be considered a fairly clear day?
Yeah, indeed. Interestingly so, because otherwise they just wouldn't have bothered. This is about as clear as it would ever get, so we would enjoy these photographs. More high cirrus coming in on the right.
And I know you have been working with the astronauts for well, at least 20 years, I know, but how long have you been?
It's almost exactly 20 years in a couple of months' time.